Inequalities can be displayed on a number line using a couple of really easy conventions. We need a couple of rules that we need to know. An open circle, we can write these notes down. Open circle means that a number is not included in a range. This will make sense in a moment. A closed circle, when something's coloured in and it's closed, it means that a number is included in a range. Now, let me explain what this means. We can graph things on a number line literally just by showing where they sit. So let's imagine we have this situation. X is greater than 3. We don't know what X is, but we're saying that X could be anything as long as it's bigger than 3, we don't mind. So we find where 3 is on the number line. Now 3 is not part of our range because this doesn't say X is greater than or equal to 3. It says it has to be greater than 3. So it can't actually be 3. So 3 is not included in the range of numbers that we're looking at here. So we put an open circle to show that it's not part of this situation. But all the numbers from 3 and onwards are. So we can sort of colour in a little section of the line, make it sort of look heavy like that, and give it a nice big arrow at the end because this situation goes right up to infinity. It goes on and it never stops. So we've just graphed this inequality here with purple. Let's choose a bit different colour. We'll take red and graph another inequality. This one was just, I would call this a tail, meaning it starts somewhere and it goes off in one direction. Let's graph another inequality that will actually be not an endless tail that goes to infinity, but something that's quite confined. Let's say x has to be less than or equal to 1, so it can be 1, but it also has to be larger than -2. All right, notice I didn't say it could be -2, it has to be bigger than -2. So as we go to put our circles on the ends of this range, and then we can colour in the section in between them, we need to have an open circle on the -2 because -2 is not officially part of our range. And on the 1 we can put a closed circle because we're allowed to include 1. X could equal 1. We're saying X has to be somewhere between here and here, which is here on our graph. At that point then we can colour in a nice steady line going between these two, and it has an open circle at one end and a closed circle at the other. We could graph a third inequality, something that's smaller. How about X is less than or equal to -3? I find -3 down here. Check if it needs to be an open or closed circle. What do you think? Closed, because it could be equal to -3. So I draw a closed circle there, and X can be anything smaller than that, going all the way down to -infinity. So I colour in a little section of the line and then put a nice big arrow on it, and I've now graphed this part.